All right, what's up there, YouTube? Welcome to sunny Florida again. I know everybody, my friend's freezing. I had my friend send me a message yesterday from New Jersey saying he got snow. And I'm like, it was 80 degrees here. It's supposed to be like 86 degrees here today down in beautiful sunny Florida. So I'd like to talk to you real quick about this new Canon EOS-RP and the Nikon Z6. And the reason, some discrepancies I've heard, sounds like somebody's building something back there. The discrepancies I've heard about from people saying, I see it all the time. Tony and Chelsea mentioned it. Tony said that the Canon EOS-R with its dual pixel autofocus was much better in video than the Z6, and I beg to differ. Here's an example. There's multiple examples. You can do searches online if you'd like on YouTube for Nikon Z6 versus EOS-R autofocus test, and you'll find that the Nikon Z6 completely spanks the EOS-R. Spanks is a kind of a derogatory term. It doesn't really spank it. It's not like it just beats it and that the EOS-R is terrible. EOS-R is a good camera with a good autofocus, but the Z6 is actually better in multiple tests. The Z6 was actually better in autofocus in multiple tests. So don't take my word for it. Here's a video right here. I'm going to link a video. Here's a video. Here's an example from a Canon shooter or a Sony shooter. I don't know which one. I think he's a Canon shooter. He tests it, and he's surprised at how much better the autofocus in video mode is on the Nikon.
So as you can see, the Z6 actually performed admirably. And at first glance, it may even appear that the Z6 is actually faster than the Canon's EOS-R dual pixel autofocus.
Also, here's a review from when Chris and Jordan reviewed it from DPReview, and they reviewed the EOS-R. The focus, while it was on Chris Nichols in the woods, kept pulsing back and forth from the background to him, and everybody was asking, what's wrong with the autofocus? That's the EOS-R.
Really constantly found that it looked like it was nervously looking for something else, which Panasonics have a tendency to do as well. So, I'm okay if it gradually drifts over to something, but this was very un-Canon-like in that it would just like jump over somewhere.
Dual pixel autofocus, failing to focus. It was going all over the place. I haven't had any problems with the focusing on this Nikon Z6, not at all. In fact, it's been fantastic focusing. I've had no problems. It focuses all the time on my face, works perfect. And it actually works very good as a vlogging camera. So I'm outside, it's a sunny day. I have an ND filter on here to make the background blurry, but you don't necessarily need an ND filter to make it blurry, because it gets blurry pretty much on its own. But anyway, boy, my grass is all dead on this side. My kayak's out here. Here's my kayak. If anybody wants to steal a kayak, my kayak is outside over here. I put it on the side of the house until I can figure out where to put it on the inside until it gets hot. And I'll leave it over here. Lizards coming out. Anyway, talking. So here's another example from one of the first ones I found on YouTube of the EOS-R versus the Z6 for autofocus.
Okay, now I'm comparing the Nikon Z6 with the 2470 f4 with the Canon EOS-R on the 24105 f4.
let's talk real quick about this new Canon EOS-RP. I'm assuming P stands for plastic or lesser. So if the EOS-R is a decent camera, it's a good camera. I'm not saying that EOS-R is a bad camera, but for the money, it's definitely not worth it. Now, if this EOS-RP has 99.9% of the features of the EOS-R and it comes in at $1,300, then that would be a pretty good camera. But my guess is it won't. Knowing Canon, it won't. This camera is going to be crippled. It'll have a flip out screen, but something else, they have to cripple it in some way. Because why would anybody buy the EOS-R in that case? Unless the only reason why they do that is if they were trying to sell the lenses. If they're worried that the EOS-R isn't selling as well and they need to sell those lenses that they came out with. So that's the only thing. Right now I'm shooting with the 24-70. Oh, look at my oranges. I'm shooting right now with the 24-70 f4 on the Nikon Z6. Look at my oranges. These are blood oranges on my tree. I don't know if you knew it or not, but these are the blood oranges that are on my tree. I love these things. They're red inside, pretty cool, but they're oranges, and they're really good. Really, really good. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the EOS-RP will be like just a plasticky, like a Rebel style camera that'll be much cheaper? I'm guessing they're going to have to cripple it in some way, some other way. It's going to either have even more crop in 4K. It doesn't have IBIS like this camera has IBIS. I'm hand holding it with one of these little Gorilla Pod type of things, and it stays fairly smooth. It's not perfect, but it stays fairly smooth. There's electronic image stabilization, but this camera has that. This camera has electronic image stabilization. So if you're on like a Steadicam or something like that, you can turn that on and then crop it in a little bit if you need to. But it doesn't crop on this, so it has a little bit of the warpy edge to it if you have that turned on. But anyway, what do you guys think? You guys looking forward to the RP because of the flippy screen? Will that do it for you? Will the flip screen be something that you'd be like, hey, I need that flip screen. I gotta have that flip screen. Canon has the flip screen, nobody else has the flip screen. Or is the flip screen not enough? I vlog with this all the time without a flip screen and have no issue. I can see the lens is capturing all of me, and I don't have my hat on today, but I can tell because I'm pointing it at me. It's only arm's length away. So there's no reason to have a flip screen to see myself. Would a flip screen be nice? Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to see myself with a flip screen, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't have it. Not for me. And that's the other thing I find very, very funny about some of the people, like my buddy there, Camera Conspiracies. I love that guy. He's so funny. But anyway, his videos, he constantly bashes every camera that doesn't have a flip screen, but then he shoots with a Sony action camera with no flip screen. So okay. Anyway, so give me a shout. Let me know what you guys think of this Canon EOS-RP, and what do you think the camera's going to be like? You think it'll be a good camera to get, and also let me know what you think about the bias against Nikon when I showed you clearly in several videos that the Nikon in autofocus in video beats the dual pixel autofocus on the Canon. It just does. It does. It beats the EOS-R, and it'll beat the EOS-RP also, unless they figure something out to fix it, which is possible in software. But Nikon's also coming out with a firmware update next month, I believe it is. It's supposed to come out next month that adds CFast Express. It adds the eye autofocus and ProRes RAW output. They're listening. Nikon is listening to its users and giving them what they want. And that's what people want. That's what we like about Fuji. That's what we like about companies that care. Is they hear you out and they give you what you want in a firmware update. Doesn't cost them anything. Well, it costs them money for the thing, but it doesn't cost us anything as users. So Holler at me, let me know what you think. All right, I'm out, YouTube. See ya.